This morning, replacement workers were brought in at Winnipeg's postal stations, and the tension ran high, resulting in 3 arrests. Debbie McKenzie reports.
Quietly, sir, or you're going to create a scene. You've got a problem.
This scene repeated itself a couple of times in Winnipeg as letter carriers tried to prevent anyone from crossing their lines. At the main postal station, attempts to block a Canada Post rig from coming in caused a few problems. One man was arrested, handcuffed, and taken away. One of yours has been carted away. How do you feel?
C'est la vie. That's just part of how it goes.
Replacement workers were in first thing in the morning, despite an announcement from Ottawa last week that replacement workers would not be used. Those who did try to cross the line were met with angry cries.
Come on, scabber! Jump on the truck! I'll rip your face off!
The letter carrier's business agent in Winnipeg, Fred Campbell, points out it's the first time this union has won. He says they're fighting for their jobs. Campbell is also worried about the use of replacement workers.
If you want to go out on the street and walk down and deliver letters to whatever amount of streets, there aren't enough of us as union executive people, there aren't enough management people, and there aren't enough police to control that violence.
Picketers received support from other unions, including the Manitoba Federation of Labour and the Inside Postal Workers Union. In the meantime, Canada Post spokesman Chris Goulet says the corporation is disappointed with the turn of events.
In light of our public statements saying that we wanted to meet with the mediator and the union, both parties meeting with the mediator, that they should choose to set up picket lines today. So there is disappointment.
However, the letter carriers union says 2 mediators have already tried to bring both sides to an agreement, and right now the union is ready for a long strike.
And standing by with us now live is Debbie McKenzie. And Debbie, obviously a lot going on the lines today. What other things can you fill us in on?
Well, for one thing, there were a couple of video cameras out on the line today. The union had a camera out taking pictures of all the vehicles that managed to get through the line, and that was quite a challenge at some points during the day. As well, Canada Post had a camera set up across the street taking pictures. There was also a camera up in the window of the hotel at the Place Louis Riel. We're not exactly sure what that one was doing. As well, the police that were out there, they got a couple of lectures themselves. They were out there to control things. However, the letter carriers were going after the police saying, look, your job could very well be up for replacement, just like they perceive theirs are up for right now.
Obviously, besides the strikers being off the jobs, it's us who are most directly affected by it not getting our mail. What did you gauge the public reaction to this?
Well, the public reaction was sort of mixed. There were a number of cars that were going by, honking, giving the thumbs-up signal, and generally trying to indicate some sort of support. But at the same time, there's a little park right across from the main entrance of the postal station. And there was quite a crowd gathered there, and every time a vehicle managed to get through that line, there was quite a hue, a cry, and a cheer, much to the chagrin of some of those strikers who were walking the line. They kind of felt that those people didn't really understand the issues.
All right, and where do we stand right now, Debbie? At this hour, is there any sign of a let-up?
So far, we really haven't heard anything. The union was called this morning at 3 a.m., and they were on the picket lines between 5 and 5:30, so it's very short notice. We're pretty much expecting the same thing. They'll probably get a very last-minute announcement as to whether or not they go back to work or whether or not they stay on the lines.
All right, thanks, Debbie, and you'll be keeping an eye out for us. Thank you. Barb?
Mailman in Brandon wasted no time in getting their picket lines set up. Canada Post had said labor wouldn't be brought in if the mediator is brought in.